Honourable Member for Deakin.
Well, thanks very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. We've just heard 10 minutes from the member for Grayndler, and he's so embarrassed by his party's position that he barely mentioned the East-West Link in 10 minutes. And understandably, I can understand why he is embarrassed by Labor's position, because for more than 2 years I've spoken endlessly about the importance of building the East-West Link, both to my electorate of Deakin and to Victorians more broadly. And as I speak here today, on the eve of a state election in Victoria, I do so with an even greater sense of urgency and awareness of how this piece of nation-building infrastructure will lift up our state and what Labor's recklessness is putting at risk. I want to congratulate my friend, the member for Corangamite, for putting forward this motion today as a timely reminder of the benefits of building the East-West Link and the federal government's very significant contribution to this project. I know that people in her electorate are calling for the East-West Link, just as people in Melbourne's eastern suburbs, including in my electorate of Deakin and the member for Chisholm's electorate, are eager for construction to commence on this major road project so that traffic can be reduced on the Eastern Freeway and the Monash Freeway. Deakin families are fed up with wasting their precious time stuck in traffic on the Eastern Freeway or the Monash Freeway, time that they could be spending with their loved ones at home or being productive at work. And I know just how fed up people in Deakin are with traffic congestion because they literally tell me every day. That is why my commitment to the Deakin electorate at last election was to deliver federal funding for the East-West Link to secure jobs, reduce congestion and boost productivity. I'm therefore very proud of our $3 billion contribution to this project. This includes $1.5 billion for Stage 1, the eastern section, which is a 6-kilometre link from the Eastern Freeway through to CityLink at Parkville, and another $1.5 billion for Stage 2 that the member for Corangamite has spoken about. But anyone who's made the daily commute east to west across the city, as many of my constituents do, understand the incredible pressure placed on the existing infrastructure. By 2031, there will be an additional 400,000 vehicles doing that commute, and quite simply, it's unsustainable. But I have good news for members opposite. There is a solution, and the solution will be the construction of Stage 1 of the East-West Link, which will cater for an additional 120,000 vehicles by 2031, drastically cut travel times between the Eastern Freeway and CityLink, and significantly reduce congestion at the end of the Eastern Freeway. Construction at the eastern section will create 3,700 jobs and provide a much-needed boost to our economy, with 90% of construction funds to be spent on local services. My colleague, the member for Corangamite, has spoken about the similar benefits for the western section, which of itself will create 3,000 jobs. That's 6,700 jobs that this funding will enable. But whatever way you look at it, this is a vital project for Victoria, a fact which, until not long ago, had bipartisan support. Those opposite agreed. In July 2008, none other than the opposition leader put his name on a submission to the Department of Transport supporting the East-West Link. But I suppose we all know that the opposition leader is prone to changing his mind from time to time. Just ask Kevin Rudd and Julia Gillard. So federal Labor has now done an almighty backflip to oppose the East-West project, all for the sake of supporting the Victorian Labor Party as it desperately tries to protect a handful of inner-city votes from the Greens. So in doing so, the Labor Party has abandoned the East, and I look forward to the member for Chisholm rising to support this motion. So I'd suggest to all of the members opposite, all the Victorian Labor members, to leave their inner-city suburbs of East Melbourne or Fitzroy and actually spend some time in our suburbs to understand how draining a commute can be on the Eastern Freeway in peak hour. Those opposite have stood by as their Victorian counterpart, led by Daniel Andrews, or Dan Andrews, as he's vowed to tear up the contracts for the East-West Link. So it's absolutely clear that only coalition governments in Spring Street and in Canberra will deliver the East-West Link, and as part of the coalition, I will continue to fight for the delivery of this project for the people of Deakin and all residents of the eastern suburbs, including in the member for Chisholm's electorate.
I thank the honourable member.